Alright, go ahead, Joe.
So we're gonna take these screws out. We're gonna need to
Oh no, I got
up a little bit.
Yeah, don't unscrew it all the way. The thumb screw stays in the material. Pull towards you. Yep. Alright, so that's the back plate of the case. Go ahead and set it on the counter over there, Joe. You're not going to need it for a very long time. No, the back plate.
Okay. Not the case. That's not the case.
Alright, go ahead and remove your thumb screws for the front plate on the front side there. So this is the back plate where his motherboard is going to be attached to. I love these Fractal cases because they have all those nice cord management pieces there.
Yeah, we do. Lay it off.
Just for kicks and giggles, go ahead and remove the dust filter on the top there. Yep, and set it over with your other pieces. There's also a dust filter on the bottom of the front there. If you turn it towards yourself and grab underneath that little edge here on the front, right there.
Ooh.
Yep, and just firmly pull out with your fingers. There you go. Alright, yep, and then just take that and set it aside. Alright, so go ahead and turn this to you. You also need to take out the back plate for the power supply there, which is on those thumb screws. Yeah, we'll go ahead and set it aside temporarily. Alright, so the first thing that I would do here, Joe, is I would put in our power supply first.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing that's going to have the hardest cram in, because it's the smallest space. But before you stick it in, let's look at it and see what we have to do with that. So go ahead and turn the power supply with the back end of the power supply towards the camera here. So what we want to do is we're going to put these those two screw holes need to go in here like this on this plate here. So you see the screw holes where they're arranged there. We need to get them to where they fit into some holes on the plate. And this is a little bit smaller of a power supply, so it may be best for us to just drop the screws like that onto it and screw it and put it in tight like that. Okay, so it fits best like that. So we're going to put this screw and that screw in, and then we'll probably put in this screw and that screw. Got it?
Okay.
So there's 4 screws for it. Alright, so those 4 screws are usually in your case. And so, yeah. Joe, go ahead and look inside the bottom of the case there and tell me what you find.
Little box here. With a bunch of screws in it.
With a bunch of screws in it. Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and put this camera over here on Joe. And we'll go ahead and focus this down like this. So what you need are some case screws, right?
Yeah. Gonna be the big ones?
These ones are too big.
So these ones, because these ones are gonna be too small.
Yep, so these are case screws. So we're going to take 4 of these, and we're going to put these into the little yellow bowl.
Yeah.
So yellow is case screws.
You don't lose them.
And you're going to put 4 screws in.
We only have holes that line up for 3 from that. There we go.
You have holes for 4 of them.
Can you hold that plate in position?
I can.
Thank you. Okay, we're in
That's good enough. You're not going to...
most of the way in, but not all the way in.
So this one's the most important one to put in because it doesn't slide around as much. The other ones slide around. Just based on the hole shape there. Yep. Alright, and get the other 2 in.
As it goes. Okay, then
Feed your cables in first.
we pull them on the outside.
Yep. Okay. So feed your cables in first. And then that's just the thumb screw.
No, it this one came off. It wasn't screwed in tight enough.
Oh.
And this one certainly came out a little bit. That wasn't tight enough either. Put these back in.
Now throw 1. My God, no. Now throw 1. My God, no.
Now, it may go in the way you have it, which is fine, or it may not. Some of these back plates require that you orient it with the fan of the power supply upward. Others don't.
Yeah.
I like it with the fan oriented downward on this particular case because it has that really, really nice grill on the bottom to pull air in and out with. So I prefer if it has it there. That's probably as tight as you're going to get that screw. Just be careful as you load it in. So go ahead, slide it in. And if those thumb screws match, then you're golden. And if they don't, then you have to do it the other way. But it looks like we can get both of them matched, which is the way I prefer that. I would not hard screw that in until you're done. So one thing that we could have done before we did that was put on the cables that you needed to do, in addition to the hard cables. So these cables that we have here are the ones that we know we're going to have to do. The main power cable and the CPU power cable. Those are like guaranteed. You have to do them on every computer. So why don't we go ahead and thumb screw slide this out with those loose thumb screws that we didn't tighten. And you're going to need power for two of the SATA connectors. So let's go ahead and get a SATA style power connector going. which would be...
Oh, yeah, Robbie.
This is the one that has 2 on it, so we'll go ahead and do that one. And then I think your video card actually, for yours, is a
Popped
2
off again.
2-hole video card thing. So we're going to go ahead and need to get the 2 for that as well. So
Seriously.
yeah, some of those are really loose.
That is really, really loose. Why'd we slide it back out?
Because you want to connect these cables before you get it in. So with this modular power supply, it has these
connect them to
these
the back.
cable spots for you to connect into. So what you're going to want to do is go ahead and put this into one of the 2 SATA cable holes. So come around here where you can see where it's labeled, and then go ahead and plug this one into the first of the 2 SATA cable holes.
Freelance SATA.
Yep.
And that has this little thing on the top, so it'll only go in one direction.
Yep. And then this is, as it's labeled on here, it says it is a PCIe.
PCIe.
Yep. And so you're going to go ahead and connect it as well. Same theology on the cable there.
Things go in like that.
Yep.
Okay.
I normally, when I'm doing these, I normally connect them both to the first one. It doesn't make a real difference, but I like to do it that way, just for consistency purposes. And then you're going to want to feed these through here as well. So let's go ahead and get them pulled through. Yep. And then now go ahead and load it. And
any more cables we need to connect?
that's it for now, because we only have the 2 items that we need to connect.
Okay.
Go ahead and
This grill pops up every time I
slide it in and out.
mess with it.
Now make sure there's a couple of little resty spots on there for it to rest on the back side. And those are like anti-vibration pads. And they keep it from vibrating when the fan is spinning.
Okay. Sweet.
Alright, so you have power cables where you want them.